Hello everyone, welcome back to an episode of, well, I guess Redstone Tutorials. I guess I'm going to make this a new series now. I've kind of made that up in my mind. Oh god, I just phrased that terribly. But yeah, I kind of made up my mind, and I'm going to make this a new series called Redstone Tutorials, so yay! So what we're going to be doing today is bud switches. Oh yeah, but by the way, you can see that we're on the main world. Wow, lag. What's my FPS? Really low. Yeah, it's really low on this world compared to the other one. It's surprising. I don't know why. Well, yeah, I guess it's because there's more chunks loaded in this world. This world's like nearly 1 gigabyte, I believe, and the other one, I don't even know how big that is. It's pretty new, so probably not very large. Anyway, talking about bud switches is what we're going to be talking about today. So, yeah, bud switches. First thing, I guess, to say is what bud actually stands for in bud switch. Bud stands for block update detector. So, yeah, there you go. That's what bud stands for. A little history, I guess, behind bud switches, I believe. I mean, this is off the top of my head. I don't actually know this. I didn't look it up or anything. But I believe one of the first people to find the bud switch and, you know, post it on YouTube was Etho. So, there you go, bud switches. That's all I know, is that they're from Etho. I don't actually know who was the very first person to find them, but I know he was one of the first. Alright, so what a bud switch is. A bud switch is a piston that, well, it's a block update detector. So it's a piston that is a block update detector. It can detect a block update. So if you look at this piston right now, it's unpowered, right? So, you know, that lever's doing nothing right now, so don't even pay attention to it. Nothing happens to the piston when a block gets placed next to it, right? But then when you power it, you power the lever, the piston extends when you update the block. And then when you depower it, I guess you could say, and you update it again, it will retract. So yeah, that's what that's what a bud switch is. It's a piston that is powered diagonally and detects blocks update. It really is a glitch in the game that's been in the game since pistons came out, I believe. And I don't think it's going to get removed. I hope it's not going to get removed, ever. I don't see a reason for them to. But, yeah. Piston. Block up detector. Yeah, so a piston powered diagonally makes a bud switch. Or at least a bud piston. This is a bud piston. This isn't really a switch of any kind. Alright, so right here we have our classic bud switch. This is what you usually see. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to go over two different types of bud switches. There's bud switch, and then there's a bud flop, which is over here. I'll go to the bud flop in just a second. So bud switch. Right here we got our classic bud switch, and it's getting powered diagonally by wire that's up on that... let's get up a little higher. Wire that's up on this block, so it's getting powered diagonally, just like that piston, except this one's powered in the front. That's what makes a bud switch. So when this gets updated, like that, it resets itself. So it's a bud switch, right? So the piston pushes a block over this torch. This torch then powers this piece of redstone. This piece of redstone then powers a torch that's under here. Or not powers. It, oh god, unpowers it. So then this then becomes unpowered. So, at this point, right here. Ooh, I'm retarded, man. Yeah, let's just break this for now. So at this point, the piston is extended, right? So then how does it become a bud switch so it goes back and resets itself, right? Well, the way it does that is the piston detects this redstone becoming unpowered. So that's how that really happens, is, so that's a bud switch, all in all. It's a piston that pushes a block over a torch, and then that torch goes up to here. In any way you can do it. You don't have to do it exactly this way. This is just the setup I have. So, you know, be creative. But, this torch goes to here is really the only thing you need to know. That torch goes to here. And remember, this wire right here has to be inverted because it needs to be on to actually make a bud switch. Just remember that. That's a bud switch right there. Oh yeah, also, this needs a delay, because if it doesn't have a delay, this is what happens. I don't have any redstone on me. Damn it. I'm not prepared. Oh no. let me get a piece of redstone. I think I have some in here. Whoa, I don't want those pistons. Put them back. Take some redstone. Oh, move. Alright. So, redstone. Yay. Let's put it here. So this is what happens when you don't have that repeater there. Because you need a delay. If you don't have it, this is what happens. It becomes a clock, and then, you know, obviously the piston will stop when this torch burns out. So yeah, the way to fix that is you just put a delay in it. Alright, so that's all I really have to mention about bud switches. Here's the bud flop. And bud flops are the same thing as a bud switch. It's the same thing, it's a bud. It's a block update detector. However, if you notice, it doesn't retract in one update. In one update, it does not retract. It only powers, right? It only extends. That's a good word. Extend. The piston only extends when I update the block, and then when I update it again, by breaking the block, it retracts. And if you look at this, it looks pretty much the same as that over there, except the only difference is that really it's powered in the back is really the only difference. And how that happens is it just keeps the redstone away from the piston. I don't exactly know why that is off the top of my head. I would have to look it up somewhere. Why the piston doesn't detect the redstone that's behind it when it comes unpowered, because it's the same delay. It's not like anything like that. But yeah, it's just powered in the black, so it becomes a bud flop. So yeah, bud switches. When you place the block, it extends and retracts. So when you update the piston, it extends and retracts. So remember that. So that's a bud switch. And a bud flop, it just extends, and then when you update it again, it will retract. So think about this. With a bud flop, this torch, if I can make a torch, I really am not prepared right now. I'm sorry. I don't really need 4, but whatever. Alright, so this torch, when I update the block, will be inverted, and then when I update it again, it'll go back to its regular state. Now, with this, with a bud switch, a torch will just have a small little pulse. Let's see if I can... We'll just pulse. Do you see that? It'll just pulse every time I update it. Oh. So yeah, there you go. Bud switch, bud flop. Bud switch, bud flop. And by the way, same thing with a bud switch, or same thing with a bud flop as bud switch. Torch has to power this block right here. That is diagonal to the piston upward. I think you can power them down too, but it's a little bit more complicated that way. Powering it on the top is a little bit easier, and a little bit easier to show also. So yeah, I have this one set up. The torch powers this, which has a torch, and that inverts this. And also, you have to have the delay here, otherwise it will make a clock like before. So yeah, there you go. So now I guess what I'll do, because this is really my first episode of this, like legitly the first episode. I'm going to name it the first episode of Redstone Tutorials. So I guess what I'll do for the next part of this video, I will show you something you can do with a bud switch, and why that would be a good idea to use the bud switch. So we'll go meet you somewhere where I have made something with a bud switch. Actually, now that I think about it, first thing, this has a bud switch. You know, bud switch. Bud switch didn't work. Oh, no, I'm just lagging. I was like, whoa, bud switch didn't work. Oh yeah, bud switch. Yay. That's the first thing, but that's not what I'm going to show you. So, yeah, be right back, and I'll show you an example of something you can do with a bud switch. Alright guys, I'm back, and I'm over here at my melon portal. If you guys remember, I did an episode in which I went through my melon portal, and this is the first room, and in fact it uses a bud switch, in case you guys didn't know. Challenge 1, burn the log in the furnace. It's that simple. And, you know, you're supposed to burn a log in the furnace, right? So, you know, people that don't know what a bud switch is wouldn't know what a burning a log in a furnace would do. But if you burn a log in the furnace, this is what happens. And that's actually pretty cool. I really do love this room. This is By the way, I don't actually know if I said it in that video when I made the video that I did a run through of the melon portal. But, you know, this kind of sparked the idea of doing a bunch of different challenges this room. So let's go ahead and look at the bud switch and the wiring that I did in this, oh geez, in this, little contraption here. If we go back up just through my wiring, I'm not going to explain any of this quite yet, because it's a little bit confusing from where I am right now. But if we go ahead and take apart this wall just a bit, there's the furnace, right? And there's a bud switch. There's the piston that has a bud switch. So when this actually goes, when this goes all the way down, so this like light will come off, like when it stops burning, then this will actually update again, and the pistons will extend again. But yeah, this is a bud switch. Let's go ahead and look at it a little bit. So here's the piston, right? And that piston goes to here, this torch, and it powers this piece of redstone, which then powers this torch, which goes to this block right here, making a bud switch. Alright, so there's a go. There's a bud switch right there. And there you go, it updates again because of that, and the pistons come out again, so it can be reset. And, but it also goes another way. So when this extends, this torch then powers this piece of redstone also, which goes up to this torch, which powers a supercharged T flip-flop. If you remember from the first episode of Redstone Tutorials, well, I should say, it really isn't the first episode because I didn't name it Redstone Tutorials, but the first time I did any kind of redstone tutorial, just a couple episodes back, I showed you what a supercharged T flip-flop is. If you guys don't know what T flip-flops are, I will do an episode on just T flip-flops if you really want me to. But yeah, this is a T flip-flop, and it goes into the T flip-flop, and then when this switches, obviously, it goes down to here, and that goes to all these pistons on this side, and obviously goes down to here, down through here, to the pistons on the other side, which are up there. I'm not going to even go up there. It's too much work. So there you go. That's one use for a bud switch, and yeah, thought it would be a cool one, because I actually made this in this world. It's all legit. Oh. Wait, I need this derp. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. That is one use for a bud switch. It looked like the block disappeared under me. Whoa! Fucking spider, get out of here, bitch. Whoa! Creeper! Holy shit! I feel violated. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 1 of Redstone Tutorials. If you liked it, please like it. Please like the video. And maybe even leave a comment if you want me to do some more Redstone Tutorials on, you know, different subjects and stuff. I already have a couple more in mind, so don't worry, they'll be coming soon. And yeah, as I said, leave a comment saying you should do these, because I don't know what the fuck they are. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, as I said like 3 times, see you guys next time.